Welcome to It Can Get Better Than This. I'm Heather Hodge.
And I'm Dr. Cindy Byler. And today we're on our season 5, episode 4. And this season we're talking about creating a life you love. This episode we've titled Shoveling the Shtuff.
Yes, which was not what I wanted to call it, but that's fine.
But I censored her just minutely. So when you're making a garden, you want to prepare the garden. Not that I've ever made a garden before, but this is what I hear from other people. And pull the weeds and put nutrients in the soil and all that.
Right. And just like when you're creating a life you love, especially if you're making, several small changes or one big change or whatever, and you're like, I really want this to look like how I would love this to look. You might need to shovel some
Stuff.
out of there. You might need to get rid of some things that are maybe holding you back, or dig deeper and seeing some issues that might be laying at the surface or even a little bit
Yes.
lower than the surface to make room for stuff that you love.
Right.
So, what are some ways that we could do this?
Good question, Heather.
So, we talked about it when we were writing this episode. We talked about different aspects, that it's not all mental. This is a mental health podcast, but it's not all mental. Some of it is physical as well.
Right. And really, our emotions, our mental health, our physical health are all so intertwined. You can't really unwrap one from another. You really need to work on all of it.
Right.
And
right.
it helps to, like we said before, to see a medical doctor for an annual, or if you're noticing issues, like your blood pressure's been up for quite a while, or you're facing an enormous amount of anxiety or something like that, it's good to go to your medical doctor and have your annual physical done or a physical done,
Yeah.
and blood work, checking different blood levels to make sure that your iron's okay, your vitamin D's okay.
Like no deficiencies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I found that a lot of those deficiencies can affect you in way more ways than you
Oh,
realize.
definitely.
Like a vitamin D deficiency sounds so, because everybody's really deficient on vitamin
Mm-hmm.
D, but the fact that it can affect more, like your fatigue level and
Yes.
your um depression, all kinds of stuff that
Right.
I didn't realize that it could affect as much,
Yes.
but
Yeah, it really
it sure
does.
can.
Our not having enough iron can make us feel really tired.
Yeah.
Our B vitamins, it's all very important. So if you know that you've been struggling with a mental health issue, like, okay, I think I really do have ADHD, or even fighting depression for a longer period of time, or anxiety, or something in the past that you've really never dealt with, and it's been kind of, you think, in the back burner, but you know that it's affecting your everyday life, it would be good to shovel the stuff and deal with what's going on so that you can move forward and enjoy your life and create a life you love
Right.
without all that stuff inhibiting you at this point in life.
Yeah.
And the sooner the better for physical and mental health,
Right.
so that you can catch things now before they become even bigger than what they already might be.
And a lot of times when you get those problems fixed, you realize exactly how, like, that's when you start realizing how long you've actually been feeling bad.
Yes.
Because you might
Yeah.
have like a perpetual feeling bad that is just normal to you.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start feeling better, you're like, oh, this hasn't been a couple weeks. This has been several years of me feeling
Right.
bad.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're sick and you just push through, and then all of a sudden you feel better and like, oh, wow, I was feeling terrible. I don't know how I even got through that. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Just
But
something,
it doesn't go away.
it doesn't go away.
You have
No,
to get
you
help
have
to
to get
fix
help.
it. Sometimes you really do need to rest too.
Yes, for
And
sure.
make your body take some time to rest once you get a minute to do so.
Right.
So last week we talked about how we need to do this mentally as well, and how we need to pay attention to what's working and what's not working in our life.
Mm-hmm.
And how when we alter our brain and we, speak positively to ourselves, it changes our outlook on our capabilities and if we can do something or not, especially if
Right.
we're introducing something new, like a cleaning routine or even just a routine in general, or trying a new hobby out or whatever the case
Hmm.
is.
Or improving our relationships,
Yeah, or
like
improving
deepening
our
yeah.
relationships.
Yeah. So it's important that um, if you can shovel the stuff out, you start realizing you find a new freedom.
Yeah,
You also find that you have a lot more emotional capacity, your stress resilience increases, and you have more cognitive ability to handle situations and to be able to think through situations when whether it's a vitamin deficiency or an iron deficiency or trauma that's been keeping you back or different behavior patterns that need to change
yeah,
or a mental health challenge needs to be addressed with medication or coping mechanisms, you'll find that, oh, wow, I can do these things now a lot easier.
yeah. And sometimes you might find that um your personality as someone who is healed from a lot of things that they've been through, whether trauma or figured out new coping mechanisms for mental health or mental illnesses or whatever, you find that your whole personality changes once you're able to get through some of that stuff and get through some of that stuff and aid the other parts of it,
Hmm.
like being able to get on medication or whatever the case is to help you cope, or in getting coping mechanisms and skills for a mental illness, and like dealing with your trauma and getting help to heal from it, especially from a mental health professional. You find that your whole personality has been trying to filter through those eyes,
Hmm.
and you've been, I mean, a lot of people are just trying to hold on
Right.
through that.
Right.
And once you have healed, you find a lot of times that you're happier, calmer, and you can breathe. You can finally breathe. It's amazing who you become when you can finally breathe
Right.
again.
It's also, I have found anyway, with a lot of my clients, easier to set boundaries
Yes.
because you're a lot more clear and you're healthier
Yeah.
physically and or mentally and emotionally. And so it's easier to determine, okay, that is a good boundary and I need to hold to that because that's healthy for where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times through therapy and through um, learning to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, you start really minding, you start minding what you're letting into your life and what you're letting allow happen to you because you're becoming more protective, but not in a unhealthy way anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very important. One of the aspects that we haven't addressed about physical health, I don't think, is what we're putting into our bodies, what we're eating.
Right. There are um a lot of chemicals in our food that are not necessarily, I mean, there are a lot of additives, and in our western civilization we have a ridiculous amount of refined sugars and stuff like that as well. And
Yes.
it's I want to make it clear, it's not about losing weight, and it's not about like skinny diet culture or anything like that. It's just literally looking at the healthy vitamins and minerals that we need
Right.
to make it.
Right. We also our portions are a lot bigger here
Yeah.
in in the States. And so looking at the ingredients you're putting into your body, like we don't often think about because we're so it's just part of our culture. We don't think about when we're driving through McDonald's and what kind of stuff it has in there if we do that regularly. I mean, once in a while as a treat isn't huge. But even our foods when we make our foods, looking to see what kind of extra ingredients are added into the foods that we're eating. Um, Eating a lot more fruits and vegetables is is very healthy.
Yeah.
Making sure that they have a lot of the necessary vitamins and minerals in them that our bodies need, and they're pretty much all natural.
Yeah. One of the things that we had to do with our household is look up stuff for anti-inflammation.
Hmm.
My husband we think he has arthritis, and so trying to find things that helped reduce inflammation, it's been a journey, but it has helped with brain fog as well for us.
Hmm.
Both of us are thinking a lot clearer, and I found that because I'm really bad about eating out, I'm terrible about eating out, but I found that when we make a point not just to eat at home, but to make sure that we're eating like lots of different kinds of foods, or we're
Mhm.
trying to make sure we're getting vegetables with our meals, making sure that we're getting, he's a lot better at it than I am, but making sure we're getting enough water and that kind of thing. Um, the feeling of sluggishness and
Right.
again, that brain fog, it gets a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, we went on a nutrition plan about a year ago, and I was shocked because I'm definitely a sugar addict, and had gotten fallen way too far deep into that since COVID, and was shocked at how much clearer I can think coming off of most sugars. Like I, I'm not fixed, but I refuse to be completely fixed of my sugar, but a whole lot less. And then watching what we're eating really helps a lot.
Yeah. When I was pregnant with Ailey, I had to find some substitutions for some of the stuff I was eating because it also had a lot of sugar in it, and that was not helping me being nauseous very much as I thought it
Right.
was. It was not helping um the being tired all the time and everything too. It was actually, my doctor said, it was making it worse. The amount of
Oh,
sugar I was
wow.
taking in was
Right.
making it harder.
Yeah.
So I switched. I was drinking 3 or 4 like 20-ounce Sprites a
Oh,
day,
wow.
and I was like, "Oh, this really cannot be good." But I was craving the carbonation and the citrus,
Right.
and was like, "Okay, we have to change this out." And I was like, "I should try I should try those seltzer waters." And I was like, "Oh, I hate those things. These are terrible." Finally found one brand that I liked. And from there, I was able to drink another kind that I found that I liked. And then I found out that I started liking all of them.
Oh, wow.
And
Your taste changed.
it did. And
Yeah.
thankfully, I still like pretty much all of them.
Oh, that's good.
But that helped a lot, having some substitutions. I tried to change out like white chocolate and milk chocolate for dark chocolate and some
Hmm.
of the healthier
I
dark
can't
chocolates.
talk about it anymore. I can't
But
talk about changing chocolate out.
and we tried, I'm not good at it, but we have also tried like every once in a while making our own bread and um that kind of thing. Just trying
Right.
little things here and there to make sure we're getting a little bit more
Right.
nutrients.
I found that I started craving vegetables for the first time in my whole life.
Oh, that's a miracle.
Yes, I'm not a
Wow.
vegetable person in my family. God rest their souls. My parents weren't really either.
Yeah. No,
They
they
we
weren't.
no, we did it to because we were supposed to, but none of us liked vegetables. But now I'm like, I really need some vegetables.
Well, to be fair, they didn't
So
season them either.
no, no.
They
God,
came right out the can. And of
yes,
course they didn't like them.
yes.
Nobody likes that. But
But I'm really like have gotten to the point. So yeah, so that's a part of physical health, and I am not a nutrition or a health coach by any stretch of the imagination, nor do I wish to be at this point in my life.
no.
But I know that personally, that has helped me quite a bit to really get a handle on what I'm putting into my body.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect, but I'm a lot better than I used to be, and I feel a lot better than I used to feel.
Yeah. One of the things in struggling with an eating disorder is I had to get help too. I
Hmm.
had to finally recognize, because like when I was growing up, the big fad was what it's starting to go back to now. It was the low rise jeans and crop tops and everything, and everybody was this big.
Yeah.
And I remember like constantly on TV shows and stuff and talk about, oh, that girl's so fat, she's pushing 180. And that's not,
Oh my
that's not
goodness.
that big.
Yeah.
At 6 foot tall, like I would love to be 180 right now. But that toxic mentality and constantly hearing, coaches and teachers and parents and adults everywhere talking about weight and how
Hmm.
you look all the time is so it's so damaging.
Yes.
And um it's taken a lot. I've had to like get outside medical help for changing my brain and positive thinking about that kind of stuff, so I'm not beating myself up all the
Hmm.
time, and so that I can have a positive idea about food and health and
Right.
nutrition. Because um but like unfortunately a lot of places like the whole goal is just to be skinny,
Right. And
and
it needs to be about health
it does.
and about eating better and your body feeling better.
Right.
The
Right.
losing weight often comes along right behind that. But when you focus on the health part of it, then often your self-image can change
Yeah. Yeah.
as well. So that's the physical health part of it. I think we've said quite a bit of that in these episodes.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about our relationships.
Okay. Um, yeah, that would be good. I'm sure there's stuff that we can shovel
Oh, for
out there.
sure. For sure. One of the things to look at is how am I talking to other people?
Yeah.
We talked, I think it was last episode or the episode before, about how I was constantly angry with somebody in my life. Well, like pay attention that the you're not just talking angry to your spouse all the time or talking angry to your children or like you're irritated with them all the time
Right.
or even friends.
I think it's important to get to the root of why too.
Yes.
If it's why am I angry all the time, or that was the other episode we talked about passivity. Yeah,
Hmm.
passivity, and why am I so passive all the time? Why do I say things under my breath? Why do I let people walk all over me? That kind of
Hmm.
thing. Um, or why am I so anxious all the time? Why am I afraid to talk to people or confront people? I think it's important to get to the root of why, not to place blame, but to get to a resolve so that you
Definitely.
can get the problem fixed too. And oh, especially if you don't want to deal with conflict, you're not going to want to deal with
No,
this.
most people don't like to deal with conflict,
Yeah. But like
but it's very important.
yeah,
It's an important part of life, and learning how to deal with conflict will make you more not just prepared, more confident about dealing with the conflict.
right.
You don't have to be aggressive. You just need most people just need a plan.
Yeah.
And it's not even about changing your personality and being more assertive versus being more passive. It's about knowing the skills to do that. And that's something we should talk about in another episode. Having the skills to do that
Right.
so
Right.
that when you're walking the plan out, you're confident in how you're doing this and the right ways and the wrong ways to do that, and keeping your boundaries around what you're going to allow into the conflict.
One of the things that has helped me with being anxious to do things too is having people that I trust that I can talk to about this kind of stuff that help motivate me to get what needs to get done.
Hmm.
So if I have a conflict with someone, I have people that I can talk to, not to gossip with, but
Yes.
to say, I don't even know how to go about this. Like, what is even the right way to deal with this? And
Right.
people that can look at me and say, this is how you could do that.
Right.
Or if it's not necessarily conflict with other people, um, emotionally or relationship wise, even if it's things like, um, your license expired and I'm terrified to go to the DMV or something like that. Having people that can help you think through these things. That's one of the things that Aaron and I have to do for each other a lot.
Hmm.
Um, both of us were really hoping to marry somebody that was like on top of it and could keep us on track, and neither
No.
and we married each other, and we have to keep each other on track, which I think is a much better checks and balances.
Right.
So um when like I have a lot of anxiety around money, and some of that stems from how I grew up, some of that stems from um my early adult years, and he does too. And we have found that when we work together, we have to pay bills together. Yes, it's as easy
That's a
as
good
clicking a
idea.
button. Yes, we have the money to pay our bills,
Right.
but we have been late several times because both of us are so anxious around money that it's too much to even think about sitting down and clicking a button, which is ridiculous sounding, but it's a very real
Right.
fear. And a lot of people feel that about like their medical bills and stuff like that too.
Hmm.
It feels like this big, and it takes everything in you to get it done. But I've we've communicated with each other. Like, I need you to sit down next to me, maybe even hold my hand while I'm paying these bills.
Right.
And then I have to do a whole breathing exercise afterwards and tell myself, like, we have the money, we are okay, we are not in the hole. We have food, we have water, and we even have a little bit extra money after bills. This is wonderful. We can do this.
Right.
And
And many times facing it is it felt this big and it's usually about this big. Not
right.
always, but often it's a lot smaller of an issue than what it feels like
Yeah.
before we face it. So procrastinating makes the monster bigger.
Right. Right.
So it's great to have someone to face it with and walk through it together with.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be a spouse if you don't have one, or if your spouse is not in the shape to do that or not there.
Right, right. I had one of my friends and I, we got married a little bit of time apart, and I was like, okay, I've done this once before. I know I need to go to the Social Security office and get my name changed. And she hadn't done it either. And I was like, just come with me. We'll both do it together. And doing it together made it easier on both of us.
Yes,
So
yes.
being able to do some of that stuff together, with somebody, run errands with somebody, um, or even there's a concept that I learned on my journey with ADHD called, it's not shadowing. I can't remember what it's called, but basically it's like parallel play. Um,
Right.
there's a concept in early childhood development psychology called parallel play. It's what toddlers do. They don't play with each other, they play next to each other
Right.
with different toys.
Right.
And it's still like community. It's basically that. There's even apps for it where you can have people sit with you on your phone
Oh,
while you're
wow.
doing stuff because it
Oh,
makes you
funny.
want to
Right.
clean or do your homework or
Yes.
write
It's a
or
lot easier to
whatever.
clean when you're on the phone with somebody
Yeah.
or you're listening to an audiobook or something like that. It's a whole lot easier to do things like that.
Yeah. And sometimes being able to do stuff with each other, like some friends they'll clean one person's house together and then they'll go to the other person's
Mhm.
house and clean together. And sometimes stuff like that helps tackle that monster too.
Right. And it helps you shovel the stuff
Yes.
out of your life. Even going to therapy together with somebody. If you have a therapist that
Ooh.
would allow that. I've had them.
Therapy date.
Yes, I've had people can I bring my friend?
Oh, that's
And
cool.
I'm always my training was in my favorite training was in marriage and family therapy.
Ooh, yeah.
And so the broader the system I could look at, like generation to generation, outside the basic core family, like grandparents, great grandparents, children, friends, aunts and uncles, all of that. The
Yeah.
more people I can get into a room, the happier I am because then I can find out even more about why this person works the way they do and everything going on around them.
Yeah.
And so I've welcomed extra people in therapy sessions, and sometimes just to get through the door the first time
Right.
with somebody makes a big difference. Like she's not really that scary.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't matter that everybody leaves crying. No, just kidding.
And I will say it does take time to find the right therapist for
Yes,
you.
it sure does.
It's not, unfortunately, and this is so much harder for people with anxiety. I know, because you're like, it took everything in me to get here.
Right. And then this isn't the right fit.
Yeah.
It took me about 3 or 4 people before I found the right therapist. But then, man, the work that I did was so worth going through that door 3 or 4 times. I think that Alan was my third person.
And if it doesn't feel right, if you feel like, whether you feel like you're being manipulative or manipulated or not heard, or you feel like
Or pushed.
you're being pushed, right, in a way that's not healthy
Right.
or doable, there's no harm in looking somewhere else for another therapist.
Yes.
And it's okay to just not make another appointment and find another person
Right.
too.
Well, also in therapy, it's good to tell the therapist, I feel pushed. I feel like you're pushing me into things that I cannot do and communicate. You learn to deal with conflict in a safer environment, or I don't feel safe.
Yeah.
And see if you can work it out with a therapist. And if it doesn't work during that session, then you ask for if they can help refer you to somebody else.
That's another good reason to bring a friend to your first session too,
Hmm.
because having someone that you know and trust who loves you, that can say, "Oh yeah, I felt that too," or saying, "Nah, I don't think so. I think maybe you were, you have
Too
someone that you
anxious.
can
Yeah.
bounce that off of if you're like second guessing what's
Right.
going on."
Right. So I think that's a great concept is having somebody with you while you're shoveling your stuff.
Yeah. I think another thing that helps a lot that's physical is your environment and your space, your physical space.
Hmm.
Your whether it's your vehicle, your place of work, your home, your room, whatever, having an extremely cluttered environment, it might be good to go through your things and get rid of things
Oh,
you don't need
yes.
anymore.
Oh, yes.
It
The joy thing.
Yes. I found that um I actually do like cooking. I thought I hated it for a long time, but when we went through our kitchen and got rid of everything we didn't need anymore, and we really like deep cleaned it,
Hmm.
I felt like I enjoyed cooking again
Oh,
and
that's cool.
baking. And
Especially when you got that special appliance for Christmas
oh yeah, I got a I can't say the name of it. I got a very beautiful stand
mixer.
mixer
Yes.
for Christmas, and that's Sadie. That's my baby, and I love her.
She needs a
Really
unicorn
love
horn.
her.
Yes. So yeah, decluttering helps. And
Yeah.
it does help another time where it helps to have other people with you to help you do that and go through
Yeah.
stuff.
And getting rid of a bunch of stuff helps to maintain it as well because you're not having to
Hmm.
take care of as much stuff.
Right. Right. That's a good part of shoveling your stuff.
Yeah.
So I hope that this has really helped you today. These are just some pointers on shoveling your stuff. You just really want to look beneath the surface some and even at the surface to see what things are getting in the hindering you from creating a life that you love. So we hope that you have a great week and we'll see you for the last episode of the season next week.
Bye.